Look at the stats. I got 6 rings too. Look at my accolades. I got defensive player, all NBA. So playing the game the right way and winning means something to me, and it meant a lot to me. I don't have the MVPs, but guess what? Somebody that was with me got it.
Oh my God! Drug test him now! I want test! Take him get a urine sample, get a blood test, drug test him now. You got to be kidding me. I can't believe what we just heard. I can't believe it. And damn it, Patrick Bet-Davis, I love you. But let me tell you something right now. If you're trying to tell me that Scottie Pippen is justified in calling himself the best, you need to be drug tested too. All of you. All of you. How you the best when you wasn't even the best on your own team? How you the best when you weren't even the number one option? I mean, what? Oh, it hurts me because I don't want to do this. If you're the best, why were you calling for Jordan? If you're the best, why were you pouting on the bench when Phil Jackson called Tony Kukoc's number instead of yours in the playoff series against the Knicks? If you the best, why was Bill Cartwright in the locker room crying while excoriating you from abandoning your teammates? You led, you also quit. You quit. You had a migraine in 87. You had a migraine in a game 7 against the Pistons. Michael Jordan was left crying on a bus in his daddy's arms talking about when we gonna win. Bill Cartwright, I already told you, was crying. What are you talking about? Oh, my Lord. Everybody needs to get drug tested. What's even me? Hell, I need to get drug tested. I might start smoking some weed just so I can get... Let me do something. I might start smoking some weed just to get this damn thinking out of my head. This is blasphemy. Better than LeBron? Better than MJ? Come on, man. Come on, man. You know better than that. I'm going to leave this alone for now. I might have to revisit this in a couple of days.
In elite basketball, there is no such thing as shared power at the top. I don't care how talented the roster looks on paper. When the lights hit different and the pressure starts suffocating, one voice takes over. One presence defines the identity. One player absorbs the blame if it collapses. And if you really watched the early 90s, you already know that debate in Chicago was never real. Michael Jordan wasn't just the leader of the Bulls. He was the entire ecosystem. The offense revolved around him. The building leaned toward him. And when the clock bled under 2 minutes and the arena went silent, everybody, teammates, coaches, opponents, knew exactly who was taking that shot. That wasn't marketing. That was trust. Cold, earned trust. Jordan didn't just close games. He ended careers. He ended seasons. He ended hope. Now, let's talk about Scottie Pippen, because this is where people get emotional instead of honest. Pippen was phenomenal. Versatile. Defensive genius. Could guard 1 through 4, sometimes 5. He moved the ball, controlled tempo, kept the triangle sharp so Jordan could detonate when it mattered most. That's not disrespect. That's elite role mastery. But hear me clearly. Being the ultimate leader and being the ultimate co-star are not the same assignment. One guy carries the crushing expectation of the final shot and the final blame. The other elevates that force. History honors both, but has never confused the two. And that distinction, that's exactly why this conversation refuses to die. Because once you introduce LeBron James into the equation, the logic gets uncomfortable. For over 2 decades, LeBron has been the unquestioned engine everywhere he's gone. Cleveland, Miami, Los Angeles. 10 finals appearances. For championships. Elite scorer. Elite passer. Floor general. Franchise architect. And despite all of that, despite numbers and longevity that feel almost unreal, a massive part of the basketball world still says he hasn't cleared Jordan. So if a player who has carried teams as the undisputed number 1 option for 20 years still sits behind MJ in many debates, how exactly does Pippen place himself on that same mountain without ever being the championship-level alpha? That's not hate. That's hierarchy. Legacy isn't about feelings. It's about structure. It's about who drove the bus and who helped navigate. In the Bulls dynasty story, Jordan was the driver. Pippen was the elite co-pilot. Flipping that rewrites competitive gravity itself. And that's why people did a double take when Pippen, six-time champ, Hall of Famer, top 75 all-time, sat down with Patrick Bet-David and confidently suggested his team's success puts him ahead of LeBron. 6 rings versus 4. On the surface, that sounds powerful. But once you peel it back, it gets complicated fast. Because when we talk about greatness, emotion has to sit down and let the resume speak. Start with Jordan. 6 championships, 6 finals MVPs, 5 regular season MVPs, 10 scoring titles, 9 all-defensive first teams, Defensive Player of the Year. In 1988, he was arguably the best offensive and defensive player in the league at the same time. 14 All-Star selections, Rookie of the Year. That's not just dominance, that's control of an era. Now Pippen, 6 championships, yes. 0 finals MVPs, 0 league MVPs, 3 All-NBA first-team selections, 8 All-Defensive first teams, 7 All-Star appearances, 1 All-Star MVP. That's elite. That's Hall of Fame worthy. But next to Jordan, the gap isn't subtle. In every championship series, the opponent's game plan centered on stopping Jordan, not Pippen. Finals MVP doesn't exaggerate your role. It clarifies it. Jordan has 6. Pippen has none. Every time the trophy went up, the league acknowledged who drove the victory. And since we're being honest, let's circle back to LeBron without restarting the GOAT war. For championships, for finals MVPs, for league MVPs, 19 All-Star appearances, the all-time leading scorer in NBA history. He has been the centerpiece of every finals run he's made. Yet even with that resume, the debate still leans Jordan for many fans. So ask yourself, if a complete franchise leader like LeBron hasn't unanimously passed MJ, how could Pippen, who never led a title team as the primary option, realistically stand on that same tier? Jordan's dominance wasn't situational. 10 scoring titles scream offensive supremacy. 5 MVPs scream sustained control. 6 finals MVPs scream inevitability when it mattered most. Pippen never led the league in scoring. He never had the weight of an entire championship expectation resting solely on his shoulders deep into June. That doesn't diminish him. It defines him. And here's the uncomfortable truth that sparks comment sections into chaos. Greatness has layers. Being the best teammate and being the best player are different conversations. The Bulls dynasty worked because roles were understood. But rewriting those roles decades later doesn't change what happened on the court. It just reignites a debate that was already settled in the final spotlight. So I'm asking you, are we blurring leadership with loyalty? Are we mistaking proximity to greatness for being the source of it? Drop your take below, because this conversation isn't going away anytime soon. Never won a league MVP. Never held a finals MVP. That's not disrespect, that's documented reality. Scottie Pippen had a vital role, but it was clearly defined. Guard the best scorer, keep the offense flowing, create the airspace so 23 could detonate when it mattered most. Awards aren't everything, but they expose who stood tallest when the pressure hit nuclear levels, and history is loud about that. Michael Jordan stands alone at the summit. Pippen stands slightly below, still a legend, just not the apex. And here's what makes it uncomfortable. LeBron James, who individually eclipses Pippen in almost every measurable way, still gets judged against Jordan as the unreachable benchmark. That alone should end half this debate. Yet Pippen doubled down, even naming Magic Johnson as his GOAT because of leadership and that iconic rookie finals moment filling in for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. And yes, Magic's greatness is undeniable, but basketball isn't graded on symbolism. It's graded in final possessions when the arena tightens and everyone knows who's getting the ball. Clutch isn't just a buzzer beater. It's being the only option when the defense is locked in and still delivering. Jordan lived there. 30 plus a night against elite defenses, 9 all-defensive first teams, 6 finals MVPs that scream inevitability. So ask yourself, when everything is on the line, who do you trust? Pippen was an elite athlete, 6 feet 9 inches, explosive, could finish over anyone, just ask Patrick Ewing. But the jumper was streaky, the scoring thrived in transition chaos, and being the half-court assassin with the season hanging wasn't his burden. That was Jordan's weight. That was LeBron's. That was Kobe Bryant's. Even Allen Iverson and Vince Carter carried that number 1 option responsibility. When Chicago needed saving, there was one name defenses feared even when they knew it was coming. 1989 over Craig Ello, season saved. 1997, sick and barely standing, 38 in the finals. 1998, stripping Karl Malone and walking into that pull-up that froze basketball history. Those weren't highlights, they were legacy stamps. Yes, Pippen had huge defensive moments, but when one shot decided everything, the play wasn't drawn for him. He made the moment possible. Jordan owned it. LeBron has his own iconic flashes, the chase down on Andre Iguodala, the monster playoff scoring nights, yet even he doesn't have 6 trips, 6 wins, 6 finals MVPs. That perfect finals resume is different. And when Jordan first retired in 1993-94, Pippen proved he was a high-level floor raiser, 22, 8, 5, All-NBA first team, 55 wins, but they didn't win it all. And in that Knicks series, when the final play went to Tony Kukoc, Pippen sat instead of demanding the moment. Leaders live or die with the last possession. Jordan would have taken it. LeBron always does, win or lose. That season showed the difference between raising a team's baseline and raising its ceiling. One keeps you competitive. The other turns you into a dynasty. And that gap, floor versus ceiling, is why when the clock hit 0 in Chicago, there was only one bull the world trusted without hesitation.